Spent time in the championship. Both roads back, well documented, well covered. Noah Ma steered it onto Nakano. Who had an early hit, Lima made the block. Lima. Back for Evangelista, who threaded it on for Arn, whose touch was too heavy, and the ball was just too far ahead of him. For him to be able to take it down. Otherwise, he would have been in a very promising position. Maurizio Novak wants timeout. And Pascoe Vale will get it for the first time this eve in the final game. One of the managers will call their troops in as we go to timeout for the first time. It's Pascoe Vale 1, Melbourne Aku 2.
We're the Champ Hunters Div 1 Tuesdays. We should not be in Div 1, but nevertheless, we lost 8-3 today, but we're missing Alex Beckers. Send him hate. If you know who he is, please send him hate, and that's it.
Well, that's exactly right, James. Going on with that. Our gaffer, we've had a gaffer, for the whole team, and then he hasn't rocked up. Last 2 weeks, Lucas Smarra, you know who you are. You better sleep with one eye open tonight because we're coming for you, mate. You better sleep with one eye open, Lucas Smarra. You know who you are.
I brought the boys over, and we're all former NPL players. If State League want to sign us, we thought we'd take our talents to Futsalers, and
well, that's exactly right.
It's absolutely fantastic, and the place is an institution, so we thought we might as well. And that's that.
That's exactly right, James. That's it. It's not hard, it's just that we're struggling to find.
We return from timeout for the first time in the evening's third game. Melbourne Aku at the moment are keeping on the march. Pascoe Vale have gone fifth before half-time. 5 fouls apiece. Both teams on the thinnest ice, ready to break if this game poses any threat of boiling over. Andre Caro back for Vaz. It's of course the same position Pascoe Vale saved the game from last week. Vaz, Evangelista. Lucas Vaz one more. Kevin Lamb looking for a yard in which to drop into. Caro. Vaz. Lovely ball to find Lima, who returned it for Evangelista. Lucas Vaz on for Lamb. Oski across.
Pascoe Vale running that fifth man. They need something. They need a little bit of magic. Lamb forces it back to Lucas Vaz. Distributes to Evangelista. And again, slow and steady wins the race. And that's what Pascoe Vale are hoping happens here.
Perhaps taking some time out of the first half too. It's a lovely ball to find Kevin Lamb, and it's a brilliant challenge from Oski E. My word, what a slide that is.
And he's got to be perfect there too. He really has to be perfect. 5 fouls, comes in 2 feet. And you know what? It was perfect.
Kevin Lamb's corner as a result. All the way back out for Vaz. Evangelista. Vaz. Once again, just trying to turn the screw. Evangelista steered it over the top, and Lamb's got to make way quickly. Oscar Yee. Threaded for Noah Ma. Vaz on a tightrope. Yee once more. Leong. Wanted to charge at Lima, and Galatos picked off by Evangelista. Lima in retreat. Abdallah, Vaz. Lovely, lovely futsal from Pascoe Vale. Vaz. Back for Lima. Again trying to turn their way through. Kevin Lamb now comes to join them. Vaz drops deepest. Caro. Vaz. Evangelista. Again, they just take their time to thread their way round. Caro, Lima, Evangelista. Vaz once again, just waiting on it. Evangelista, Vaz, can they find an opening? Lamb now down the line, on for Caro. Colin Leon quickly across to make the block. Lamb quickly. Lovely ball for Caro. What a save, Maliaros. Cleared out to Evangelista. On for Lucas Vaz. Andre Caro got inventive. Another magnificent stop from Maliaros again.
Tell you what, this guy is having a season, a resurrection season. He's been fantastic. Lockie Maliaros from where he was last season to now. It's a step up.
Evangelista. Vaz. Lamb. Pascovel wanting to turn the screw in the final 2 to half time. They need a leveller. Vaz, Caro, clipped it across. Oh my word! That is out of this world. And Evangelista had a challenge. What a magnificent save.
I tell you what, you do that week in, week out. He gets that consistency. You're looking at one of the best keepers in the league. Consistency. If he does it in and out the way he's been this game, you're looking at one of the best.
That's an outrageous stop. The pure reflex just to tip it away. And out of trouble. Abdallah. Look long. Lima couldn't get the flick. Maliaros rolled it. Oscar Yeet wanted to go at Andre Caro. Both teams throwing the kitchen sink at another goal before half time. And both will tempt and tease the other with the foul count exhausted. Who wants to blink first is the question. Pascovel persisting with fifth. Oh, and it might deflect in. Lucas Vaz nearly had a nightmare moment. Hearts in mouths for the Lions, who nearly had a gift pounced upon. Ever so graciously by Noah Marr. Almost unbelievable in a first half that itself has truly defied belief sometimes. And that ball from Vaz is behind Lamb.
There's 1 minute left even in this first half, and all it takes is one mistake there from Pascovel playing the risky fifth man, which they need to implement because they've really struggled to break down Melbourne Aku and create any offensive opportunity that is dangerous.
Evangelista. On for Lima. Oscar Yeet with a good block. Evangelista once more. Vaz, Caro. Evangelista down the line for Lima, whose touch was heavy. And in fact, Oscar Yeet's got an open net, and they were slow in changing the fifth man out. Mazen Abdallah was waiting on Kevin Lamb, and Lucas Vaz had to make the intervention. In the final minute, Pascovel nearly switched off. Noah Marr from the corner. Couldn't get it back to Angelatos. Evangelista wanted to pirouette, but pirouetted out of play. They nearly made an absolute hash of it on the stroke of half-time. Noah Marr lost out to Evangelista. He's been told just to give it a second. Fifth instated, Vaz, who was under immediate pressure. Evangelista looked long for Lamb, but wasn't able to find him. And Maliaros wants to go, you know. They might not be able to catch him out this time. He looked long for Noah Marr, who got a flick, but flicked it out of play.
My question to you, Ethan, now it's 2-1. Do you sit and absorb that time, get to half-time, or do you really throw that ball, try and force something direct, but give Pascovel an opportunity to score here?
I think the answer might be stated. Maurizio Novak's abandoned the fifth. So both teams might be seeing it through to the break, and they might not have the time to do anything else about it. Maliaros long. Marr with a tidy touch. Vaz with a good challenge. On the stroke of the break, the clock will beat them all. And a first half of sea-soaring sumptuousness. Aku went ahead. Lucas Vaz belted Pascovel level. Before, on the break, Aku found themselves in front once more, and thanks to some Maliaros magic, hold it at the break. Half-time in Darabin. It's Pascovel 1, Melbourne Aku 2.
Our feet. I think the lack of fitness is really affecting our team. Joining halfway through the season wasn't most ideal, but you know what? We've come across a couple wins and we're doing decent within the team. You know, there's a lot of politics within the team and problems here and there. And you know, when you got families paying 7, 8, 9 grand, it's not on. But yeah, well, that's exactly right.
Well, you know, for Social League Div 1, we thought this would be all right, but it's a much higher standard than we thought, and we're not quite equipped for it, but we're working on that.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're improving the arsenal, and we'll get there. We'll get there day by day. We'll adjust.
Unfinished business.
It's 2 words. Disappointment. But there's room for improvement, and that's it, man. That's it.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
We're signing off.
Signing off, James Daniels, starting captain, striker.
Yeah, and send hate to Alex Beckers and Lucas Mara. We're the Chep Hunters Div 1 Tuesdays. We should not be in Div 1, but nevertheless, we lost 8-3 today, but we're missing Alex Beckers. Send him hate. If you know who he is, please send him hate, and that's it.
Well, that's exactly right, James. Going on with that. Our gaffer.
We return from half-time for the final time tonight. And Pascoe Vale have it all to do. Merely 2 points outside the playoff places. They might be starting to feel the pressure if they cannot find themselves a remedy to the current situation. For Melbourne Aku, it's been so far so good for QEMU's side, and they're on an early look in the second half. However, Mars lost out to Evangelista and then made a terrific challenge as Kurodate went to advance before leaving a leg in and giving away a free kick.
Did well the first time, come back for seconds, and
he finds himself in the book.
again, you can't get quite as lucky twice.
Within 30 seconds, within half a second half minute, Chavinan has a free kick. Tried to clip it for Nam Pham, whose touch was loose. Nakano away from Kurodate, and it's a smashing ball for Xavier Fernandez, who took it down firmly before Nam Pham gave his attack a stop. Campagna, who has been terrific so far, gets it back from Francis Ma. Waiting on the movement around him. Nakano was one. Him and Kurodate do battle, and Kurodate wins out on this occasion. Rito Novak shuffling the pack at half-time. On Nam Pham. Arms dummy for Evangelista was never one that would quite materialise.
Ethan, coming into half-time, what do you think of the sentiments from both benches?
Can imagine if you're Pascoe Vale and Rito Novak, it might be a more nervy conversation. Understanding the project that you have before you, the way that you've wanted to kick on from the season just gone, and how that is transpiring so far is possibly the big one here. How do you turn it around? And this is the week in which you have to do it. For QEMU, though, I reckon the message would be more of the same. Aku have been very compact and difficult to break down, and they've drawn Pascoe Vale in to play on the break.
It's a big statement here from me. Do you think it's back to the drawing board if Pascoe Vale lose tonight?
It's a tough question to answer. And I'm not the one who can answer it. I think only Maurizio is the one who could make that call. He's on. For Evangelista. Showed too much of it to Nakano, who came in with the challenge. Certainly will be a head scratcher if 3 points don't transpire in the second half, and Abdallah's given it away to Fernandez. Couldn't quite squeeze it through to Kurodate. Fernandez around one, but not around Nam Pham. Of course, Pascoe Vale do have that option playing out of going fifth without going fifth. Mazen Abdallah very well equipped with his feet, as we've seen already this evening as well, on many an occasion. Nakano lost out to Evangelista, and then he made a slide and didn't make contact. Maliaros didn't get there either. Evangelista, that's a beauty! Oh, what a finish! Felipe Evangelista with a tiptoeing, and with a fabulous goal to draw Pascoe Vale level again, and the Lions have roared out the blocks inside 2 second half minutes.
I mean, all credit to Evangelista to find the space and to make that little bit of magic, but I have to ask myself, what's Lockie Maliaros doing there, rushing out? It's just, he's lost his head.
And perhaps a first half curse of the commentator from Josh Fusco. Lachlan Maliaros with, I wouldn't say a moment of madness, but a moment of misjudgment.
It was a moment for sure.
And all of a sudden, Aku, who was sitting pretty ahead, now have to scrap again. Nakano got it from Campagna, couldn't steer it back, and Evangelista's on the march. And going early this time, Maliaros does well to close the angle and makes a rather fine save.
A good recovery, back into it. Here's Pascoe Vale now. Sean Arndt trying to make some magic of his own. Tries in turn, shoots. Evangelista, wonderful! It's Felipe Evangelista past the head of Lockie Maliaros. Top bins, fantastic. And look at that dap up there between teammates. Absolute scenes.
2 pieces of Brazilian brilliance. A quick-fire second half brace turns it around for the man who's got more goals for the Lions than anyone else this season. And what a time to get perhaps your most impactful pair. Evangelista on the quick turnaround, and Pascoe Vale can smile again and are searching for more. Aku allowing themselves to be pounced upon perhaps. Irwin Evangelista is feeling in some kind of mood, and it's another good challenge. This game has flipped on its head in a matter of minutes. And now it's those in violet who have to find an effervescent turnaround.
And it's a completely different game now that we're looking at, Ethan. 17 minutes. I don't think Melbourne Aku have been down to Pascoe Vale at any point in the match. So it's completely different. We know Pascoe Vale is one of the best defensive teams in the league. Can they hold on?
Well, Irwin's on the march. Rolled it to Nakano, and Kurodate in retreat made the challenge. Almost being put to the test immediately, that defensive diligence. Irwin from the side ball, blocked by Nam Pham, only as far as Nakano, who's away from Kurodate, lost out to Arn. Pham then mopped it up, gave Arn one that was hot to handle, which he handled rather well in the end. Caro, back for Mazen Abdallah, who's looked long. Arn's left it for Caro, who tried to clip it across, but Nakano concedes a corner. Pascoe Vale really in a good rhythm for a first half where it came in bits and pieces, and Caro forces a good save out of Maliaros down low. Irwin just had to crash his clearance away because of the pressure they are under right now. The Lions circling. They are waiting to pounce on an Aku side who are short of answers for the first time this evening. And Campania is running out of room.
And at this stage, it's looking like Pascal have that mental stamina coming into the second half, outplaying their opponents, keeping calm, collected, playing their game, and it's working.
Caro, Kuradate. Steered it over the top for Pham. That's a lovely challenge from Nakano, who flicked it round the corner for Francis Ma. Squeezed it out to Campania, who recycled it to Irwin. Nakano. Connor Irwin. Now Enzo Campania. Ma dropped it off for Irwin. Kuradate went on the press. Nakano face to face with Caro. Lovely ball to find Francis Ma down the line. Irwin. Aku just shifting Pascal around and then giving it away.
Poor turnover into this half. And again, how I feel, Ethan, in this game and what's happened in that first half when Melbourne Aku could play on the counter-attack. Pascal is quite happy to let them have the ball, let them play around. They're doing nothing with it this half. And if that doesn't change, Pascal might just force themselves into the top three by will, by season's end.
Would allow them to close the gap if it stayed like this. Abdallah, tidy chest from Caro, tidy read from Irwin, and now then, a couple of appeals for a back pass which fall on deaf ears, and at the other end, Oscar E wins a corner. Quite the passage. Would have been incredibly harsh to give that as a back pass. Irwin was merely trying to cut out a cross. And here he is from said corner. Caro clipped it away to Vaz tremendously well. Vaz couldn't get around Noah Mark. Kuradate wanted to take over. Angelatos hurdled him, went around Caro, forced himself wide and did very well to keep it in that corner.
Fantastic to cut off the angle, and Jerry Angelatos has some work from the side ball to make some magic for Melbourne Aku, but look how compact this defence is. One back by Vaz and maybe a moment of magic.
Lucas Vaz on the charge, has rolled it wide. Caro was careening forward as well. It was a delicious flick though from Lucas Vaz to open it up for himself, and it's an equally good challenge to get it back to Kuradate. Vaz on. Pascal really starting to control this second half. Arn wants to go with Oscar Yee, and Maliaros got his angles right to smother it at his near post. If it stays like this, they'll leapfrog Melbourne Aku into the top three. Will Pascal, and they'll be within 3 points of Moreland as well. So they are just as far from the relegation playoffs as they are from the top two, which is certainly a head scratcher. And how you land yourself in that position, well, it's only how this season can tell you as he's hit the post. A golden chance for him against his former side to land an Aku leveller, and one which they might come to rue as it goes begging.
And again, I feel like there's, I think it'd be one or two more goals in this game. There's not going to be a high-scoring game. I'm calling it now. Every goal from this point on, if there is one, will be consequential.
Certainly been a grind for goals in this game. Hasn't been a plethora, but with a quarter of an hour to go, anything can open up. Connor Irwin. Lovely ball for Angelatos. Set it back for initially Ma, and Irwin thought he was still there, then had to recycle it to Oscar Yee, who intelligently dropped in. And then just as doing so, couldn't find Irwin, who just didn't advance. Lucas Vaz from the side ball. Caro. Lima. Pascal circling. Caro once more. Vaz. Aku forcing them deeper, however, and all the way home to Abdallah, who clipped it. Lima had to get inventive, but wasn't able to. And that is where the problems can be. When Aku press high, Pascal are forced to play that little bit longer, that little bit more unsure.
I guess they suppose they can at this point. They've got the lead. They can hold. They can sit. It's Melbourne Aku who have the onus to make something happen.
Campania watched that all the way back to Maliaros. Nearly another nervy moment for QEMU's side, who have had a couple already to start this second half. Campagna on Frangalatos. Out the other way, Enzo Campagna once more. Wanted to go around on, but ran out of room while trying to do so. Andre Caro got it from Abdallah, quickly flicked it for Vaz, who had on careening forward through the legs of Angelatos. Can hear what the Pascovel bench thought of that. Got it back from Lima. Lucas Vaz within range. Had a hit and he wasn't far away.
Lucas Vaz channeling his inner Jonathan Sapina with that beautiful nutmeg that occurred a couple of weeks ago back on himself. So fantastic to give it back to the opposition.
Leong. Campagna. Couldn't get away from Arn, and Caro picked it up. Steered it on for Arn, who couldn't return it, and now Mars going the other way. Pascovel in retreat. Vaz on the block. Out to Leong. Lima got in the way. Did wonderfully. Tried to clip it on for Vaz. Campagna then took over. 3 on 3. Enzo Campagna! Nearly crashed it goalward.
Fantastic to find the space. Goes for the low shot, trying to beat Mars and Abdallah at the bottom corner. Doesn't quite work. Doesn't get the touch on, and Lamb goes straight through. Cuts the space, and a great save.
And a rolling foul against Noamar.
I have to say, Ethan, we have Marcus Fernandez in the audience watching. How different is this game if he's playing on the court for Melbourne Aku?
Provides a good deal of quality and leadership to that side. Marcus Fernandez, the skipper, is their top scorer this season as well, so he brings goals in abundance. And it's something that this side, although not far out of the game tonight, have been short of, that creative spark going forward. So that's what he would provide. And just perhaps give Pascovel something else to think about. Would help take some of the attention away from Campagna in particular. Succession of side balls. Rather stop-starty all of a sudden. Game that has flowed freely. Andre Caro clipping, wanted Lamb, and now Marker go the other way. Kevin Lamb wanted to hold him up, and he did superbly in doing so. Here is Campagna. Oh, trying to twist and turn around Lima. Eventually forced back. Leong. Noah Ma. And again, the Melbourne Aku move, it just rather breaks down, having looked promising.
Absolutely. They'll get more chances, though. They are firmly in control at this point.
Leong on Frangalatos. Stepped inside, gave it to Noamar, who couldn't work a yard on Caro, and then snatched at it when the opportunity came.
Sent that one to the car park.
Caro clipping wonderfully. That's a smashing ball to find Lamb, who was waiting on the runners. Campagna shut the door. Lamb kept it alive. Away from Campagna. Away from Angelatos. And Leong on the slide. Had to make the block, but Kevin Lamb was at his electrifying best. And Pascoe Vale almost had an opening. A corner instead they'll settle for. Evangelista out for Lamb once more. Threaded for Lima. Evangelista in return. Fouled Leong.
Pascovel inching closer to getting that one goal. I think that will be possibly the decider in this one. One more. I don't know if Aku have two in them.
Leong. Went back for Nakano. Out the other way for Francis Ma. Nakano. Lost out to Evangelista. Lima now taking over. Two took a tumble. Deemed as a coming together. Lima. Couldn't thread it. Francis Ma dropped it off for Leong. Again they flood forward. Again there's no room to move on the break. Campagna. Francis Ma. Him and Enzo Campagna. Just keep it away from Evangelista, and then it finds him as Leong had a loose one. Evangelista on the charge. On for Kevin Lamb to fizz it. Leong in the way as Lima was lurking. Nakano around Evangelista, who then picked his pocket perfectly. Lamb advancing. Lovely ball for Lima, who sat Maliaros down. Not Campagna, though, who made a crucial challenge.
Fantastic suffocation from Melbourne Aku, stopping Lima from getting that deadly shot. Maliara so far off his goal.
Another tidy save as well. Evangelista with fizz. Cleared to Lima. That's a brilliant stop. And Mar picked it off. Campagna with a cracking ball in return. Francis Mar around Evangelista and then lost it, allowing Caro to steal in. Lima happy to recycle and evade an incredibly hot situation. Evangelista, halfway stage of the second half. 10 to go. Felipe Evangelista. Andre Caro. A lovely return with loft, one which Francis Mar read all the way and into the arms of Maliaros. Quickly on for Lyon. If it stays this way and it ends 3-2, do you think Maliaros might rue coming out for that first Evangelista goal?
Absolutely. It could be consequential. It could be the moment that defines this match.
At the moment, it is proving a game changer, as is this man, Felipe Evangelista, whose double is the difference. Caro. The other way for Alison Lima. Andre Caro once more, starved of options. Then Evangelista came to give him somebody to feed. Lyon. Again, the Lions pouncing on the press the second they lose it. Aku not given any wiggle room.
Do you think this man right here, number 14, Evangelista, player of the match shout?
Certainly so, especially if it stays this way. He would be a shoo-in, given his goals have turned the game. If he adds a hat-trick, it'd almost be a certainty. Curidate, and here is Evangelista. Back for Lima. Couldn't get away from Lyon.
Melbourne Aku doing very well to close down what Alison Lima brings into the game, stopping him from being effective up front, keeping this game within one.
Delightful from Abdallah. Evangelista across the face. Curidate tried to get acrobatic, and Nakano might win on it, and does. And Aku want timeout now that they have a free kick, and they will get it. When we return, we'll head down the home straight as Pascoe lead Melbourne Aku by 3-2.
For the whole team, and then he hasn't rocked up. Last 2 weeks, Lucas Smarra, you know who you are. You better sleep with one eye open tonight because we're coming for you, mate. You better sleep with one eye open, Lucas Smarra. You know who you are.
I brought the boys over, and we're all former NPL players. If State League want to sign us, yeah, no, we thought we'd take our talents to Futsalers, and
Well, that's exactly right.
it's absolutely fantastic. And the place is an institution, so we thought we might as well. And that's that.
That's exactly right, James. That's it. It's not hard, it's just that we're struggling to find our feet. I think the lack of fitness is really affecting our team. Joining halfway through the season wasn't most ideal, but you know what? We've come across a couple wins and we're doing decent within the team. You know, there's a lot of politics within the team and problems here and there. And you know, when you got families paying 7, 8, 9 grand, it's not on. But yeah, well, that's exactly right.
Well, you know, for Social League Div 1, we thought this would be all right, but it's a much higher standard than we thought, and we're not quite equipped for it, but we're working on that.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're improving the arsenal, and we'll get there. We'll get there day by day. We'll adjust.
Unfinished business.
It's 2 words. Disappointment, but there's room for improvement, and that's it.
We return from timeout for the first time in the second half. Aku chasing a game which they led at the break, thanks to a fantastic Felipe Evangelista double. His elegant brace is the difference maker, and here he is once more. Lima gave it back to Evangelista, who spun away from Francis Mar and is going for saunter. Nakano left one on him, and Pascoe will have a free kick.
WWE right there, kabam, knocks him out. Fantastic.
Certainly a rather robust challenge from Nakano. Felipe Evangelista. Andre Caro's free kick. Apologies if you heard that. Caro from range, and Maliaros parries. Curidate. Lima's turned it over the bar. What a look. What a look. He's hardly had one all night. and the one which came to him, he couldn't steer it under.
Talk about game-defining moments. That could turn out to be one of them. Right in front of goal. All he has to do is keep it in, put it down. Couldn't do it. Maybe some chance for Pascavel to make amends here on this attack.
Lima, Andre Caro, Kuradate. Caro, Evangelista just dropped in to give him a helping hand. Here is Andre Caro. Lovely ball to find Lima, whose return was too well choreographed and well telegraphed by Angelatos, who's driving. Nakano had options left and right. Evangelista left it. Abdallah, what a save! What a brilliant save! And how big could that prove to be?
That's amazing. I mean, honestly, that's why you pay the big bucks for a keeper like him. A fantastic save. And in the clutch moment. Really, there was more of a chance that ball hit the back of the net than staying out. And he's managed to turn the impossible into reality.
It's a top stop. No other way to look at it.
That's a better way of putting it.
A superb save from Mazen Abdallah. Keeps the Lions roaring ahead. Francis Mar, Angelatos. Nakano might consider himself desperately unlucky. And you'd hardly have a look at any other description as he has a breather.
Ethan, do you think we see Melbourne Aku go fifth man? Not now, but later on.
So if it gets to the final 3 minutes and it stays like this, you might just see it. They might throw the kitchen sink at it if it's close enough. Abdallah, his ball cut out by Angelatos, who's on the drive. Francis Mar, back for Irwin. Francis Mar once more, dropped it off for Angelatos. Mar, Pascavel press high, Aku evaded well, and Kuradate concedes a corner. Final sets in Darabin. Final 7 minutes to see who out of these two top three contenders will have a season-defining win.
If Melbourne Aku win, are they top two contenders? Just by points, on a points basis?
They would be within touching distance. And here's Lima on the drive. On for Kuradate, tried to thread it back. Angelatos read it well. And now Pham concedes the free kick.
Fouls must be racking up. I wonder how many now. I'll try and get confirmation from our production team. 3 each on the foul count.
So once again, close to exhaustion, well before full time, and that'll be a fourth.
Well, well, well. Another pie is added to the puzzle.
Melbourne Aku free kick in a position of quite a bit of promise. This game just has another layer added to it. Noah Mar from the free kick. Angelatos on his own, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Mazen Abdallah. What a save again. This time at his near post.
Well, apparently it wasn't.
In fact, Angelatos might have hit said near post.
I thought it was a save. Well, I guess the referee and I see differences.
We've got a better view than we do at the end of the day. On. Not away from Francis Mar, and it was too fine for Nam Pham to be able to keep in. Irwin. Angelatos. Gave it back to Noah Mar. He's looking for options to spin. Francis Mar was the easy ball out. Angelatos. Irwin. Again, waiting on the runners and unable to find Noah Mar, who was just dropping back in. Neither side at the moment able to really string any potent play together. Abdallah went too long for anybody.
Looking at that bench, I'm going to stop you there. Big man Enzo Campagna has entered. This could be game-changing. This is exactly what Aku needed at this point, last 6 minutes. Someone who could put the ball in the back of the net.
As I was about to say, is this the time where the substitutions and the nerves perhaps start to kick in.
Absolutely, getting to the point now where it's crunch time. Everything matters, and you haven't got a lot of time left. Believe it or not, it maybe 6 minutes stop clock. It goes like that, you know. It's really quick, and they might only get 3 or 4 more chances.
QEMU's hand shown. Campagna, you would imagine, would go to the end.
You'd hope so.
Abdallah again went long for Caro, but again with too much loft for anybody. For someone who's found their range this evening, all of a sudden, he's had 2 with too much weight. Here's Noah Ma to drive Aku forward. Irwin. Oscar Yee. Campagna. Ma. Waiting on his options. Yee was the one that dropped in first. Irwin came to give a helping hand. Back out for Noah Ma once more. What can they work to find themselves an opening and perhaps work a leveller? Oscar Yee. Connor Irwin. Ma just rotating around Pascoe Vale. And Yee looked to turn and go. Bundled him. That's 5 for Pascoe Vale. Five fouls in both halves for Maurizio Novak's side. Their foul count exhausted. And now they have to walk on a tightrope to the end and not risk giving away a golden chance. One which nearly presented itself to Irwin as Campagna tried to clip it to find him at the back stick. Inside the final 5. Abdallah. Caro quickly down the line for Vaz. Those two have linked up well tonight. A good challenge.
Challenge so good he took himself out.
Oscar Yee somehow coming off worse for wear at the end of that encounter with Lucas Vaz. There's Andre Caro. Lima. Now Arn. Lovely ball to find Lima, who wanted to twist and turn, instead found Vaz. Out for Caro, who's within range and wasn't far away. Took an unfortunate bobble as he went to belt it, but now they've got to drop because Campagna's on the spin. They can't foul him either, remember? And instead, they force him to drop it off to Irwin, and now Yee once more. Pascoe Vale sit in. Irwin. Campagna. Oscar Yee. Trying to venture. Caro cut it out. Vaz got a foot in ahead of Irwin. Arn's on the charge. Vaz on the overlap. Arn went alone. Vaz on the follow-in has belted it in. That might take the wind out of the sails. Lucas Vaz has sprung into life on the break, and Pascoe Vale can breathe.
I'll tell you what, Ethan. That it. Call it game. There's no way Melbourne Aku bring it back from there. There's no way back home.
5th instated immediately. Colin Leong's got the fly. All or nothing for QEMU's side. Not just the kitchen sink. You'd imagine the whole house is about to be thrown at this. A must win for the race for the top 3. They cannot afford to falter again to Pascoe Vale. It'd be 5 unbeaten. It would stretch their winless run, that's already in its 3rd year, dangerously close to its 4th.
You know, if Melbourne Aku had got the result today, you might have been able to pencil them in.
And in fact, Vaz will add more insult to injury and grab himself a hat-trick. With deftness, with class, with composure. And that might be that.
Oh, it's that. It's over. It's fantastic. It's Pascoe Vale saying we're not out of the top 3 just yet. We've got something left to prove.
On a night where seasons would be defined, both came into it at an awkward crossroad, and although there's still 3 to go, Aku are losing their grip on this. Evangelistas chasing a hat-trick of his own and was bundled over by Francis Ma, who himself will receive a second yellow and will walk.
Oofed.
QEMU in disbelief. The Aku bench shell-shocked. And their skipper has his night end prematurely, and Maurizio Novak wants timeout.
Well, Maurizio Novak is just right in front of us. He's calling for the referee. Referee's finally come to get it. They want a timeout. They'll get the timeout.
They will. Maurizio Novak's multilingual approach gets the job done. Pascoe Vale have got themselves in a position of serious dominance now. Not only do they lead Aku 5-2, but when we come back, they will have a man advantage as well as we go to a timeout break.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Signing off.
Signing off, James Daniel, starting captain, striker.
Yeah, and send hate to Alex Beckers and Lucas Mara.
We return from timeout for the final time tonight. Francis Marr takes his long walk. Aku a man down. And 3 goals down with 3 minutes to go. Evangelista's free kick. On for Andre Caro. Evangelista. Dr. Maliaros reinstated. The 5th experiment has failed. And Pascoe Vale, who have had a season of frustration, perhaps now have their moment of salvation. Evangelista. On for Caro. Those two happy to take their time to tick it around. Of course, if Pascoe Vale score, the full 5 will be reinstated. Evangelista on for Vaz. It's wonderful futsal. It's with loft. It's Caro's chest. Evangelista once more. Not around Noah Marr, who picked the right time to press. Evangelista. Caro. Lima. Vaz. Evangelista. Back for Lucas Vaz. Evangelista searching. Pascoe Vale maybe want one more for the road. Caro. Cut out by Nakano.
Ethan, an interesting conclusion to a night of futsal. We'll see Pascoe Vale really rise up. Back to 3rd? Is that correct? Back to 3rd. Now, it's been many seasons of 3rd place for Pascoe Vale. They haven't quite inched into that 1st or 2nd spot. Do you think it'll ever come?
Might do. When you put that much investment and you put that much energy into a project, certainly, as the Charchies have, and you go about it in the way that they have, and it seems like the moves they want to make are the right ones, but here's Lucas Vaz. Couldn't steer it for the on-runners, but just to go back to what you were saying, I think when you throw as much at it as they have, and they're not just throwing things at it for the sake of throwing things at it, there's a clear project there. I think it will come eventually. It just also isn't easy. And I think they are understanding that quite well. They were hoping 3rd time would be the charm and they'd crack the top 2. It may still pan out that way. There's half a season to go. They're not out of the race.
No, they're not. They're not.
Alison Lima was close to adding a sixth. But this is a momentous win for a season in which they had not started as flowingly as they had the one before. Mazen Abdallah prevented a corner. That was superb goalkeeping. Evangelista in for Lima. Evangelista, Caro. Oh, it's tidy. And Owen stole in. Went the early strike, Caro made the block. Maher happy to let it trickle out. And on the flip side of it, Josh, Melbourne Aku, where do they go from here?
Well, I think Melbourne Aku are rising high at the moment. I think that they'll settle in and
they've got one back. Owen via a deflection. Gets at least one for the road inside the final minute. Turned in by Nakano with the back stick. And on a night where their mood might have been dampened, they might have the final say, at least.
As I was getting to, Melbourne Aku, all they need to do now is win the games against the teams really around them, below them, keep themselves up. You don't want to play the playoffs. You want to make sure that you're fit and ready for next season, healthy. They've learned a lot. I think this is a learning experience for Melbourne Aku. And then next season, I think they can push third.
Alison Lima Maliaros makes a brilliant save. Dying seconds. It would have been one more.
I just want to add, why I'm so confident they can push third is because watching this game, it's pretty clear they are just on the same level as Pascoe Vale. In terms of quality, they're a good side. They have a lot to offer. And they make us round out a very good top four.
Evangelista. Caro. Dying embers of a night where the Lions re-found their roar for the first time in the second edition of 2025. Pascoe Vale are placed in and amongst the top three. They move to within a handful of points of Moreland. They leapfrog Melbourne Aku in the table, and they round out the evening the way that they wished to, the way that Maurizio Novak knew that they would have had to finalise the night full time in Darabin. It's Pascoe Vale 5, Melbourne Aku 3.